Hi, and welcome to this week's Yin Yoga. For the past couple of weeks, we've been looking at what Yin is, and last week we looked at moving into the shape. There's three principles to Yin: moving into the shape, finding your edge, and resolving to be still. So this week we're looking at finding your edge. So gather your things. I'll just take my socks off. It's quite warm in here tonight. Right, you'll need some bricks, blocks, cushions, whatever you can get your hands on, whether they're proper yoga bricks or blocks or some books or something like that. Okay, so let's come first to constructive rest. Constructive rest is lay on the back with the knees bent and just jiggle about however you need to, getting yourself comfortable. Soles of the feet down on the mat, maybe stretch through the toes, windscreen wipe the legs. And then find some stillness. The hands can be on the body or alongside the body. Just take the head up a little bit off the mat, soften the chin into the throat and place the head back down. That's to make sure your neck's lengthened. And in true form, as soon as I lay on my back, I'm going to yawn. And then bring the inner thighs together. And let's have a moment here of stillness. Letting the day, the week so far just drift. Making this time now for you. And then hug one knee into the chest. And just see how that feels first. So the hands can be on the front of the shin or behind the thigh. And just see how that feels for your body. The edge is a very personal thing because, well, our bodies are unique to us. So really connect with your body. Maybe you'd like to rotate through the ankle one way and then the other. And point and flex the foot. And I'm going to take that foot, the lifted ankle, and place it over the opposite leg, just below the knee. Now just see how that feels. Please don't go rushing into anything here. The deeper, the further away your knee is, the deeper the stretch. So do this very slowly. So when we find the edge or feeling about for the edge, I like the idea of, if you imagine you're blindfolded or you're in a darkened room and you can't see anything and you're feeling around, maybe with your feet, and you're feeling where things are as you take each footstep. So if we apply that same principle to doing yin and finding our edge in yin, So very slowly find the edge, because if you go rushing into it, you might actually miss your edge. You might go beyond it. Now the thigh bone is very heavy, so take the time. Allow your body to register first how this feels. And then if you feel you could go a little further, maybe put a block, or I've got a cushion because I've not got a block to hand, and I'm going to do everything. And I've got some blankets. Oh, that's not a very elegant way. It's not a very elegant way of propping my foot. But basically, you can prop your foot on a yoga brick or block, or maybe even a book, or cushions like I've sort of done. Or if you want a deeper stretch, you can, or you want to go into it deeper, I should say, you can place the foot on a bolster or even a sofa. So see how that feels. Now to protect this knee, let's just spread gently without activating muscles in the legs. Let's just spread through the sole of the foot. Keep that face soft. I really need to stop lying on my back. It just automatically makes me yawn. It's like a reflex for me. It's probably because I don't often lie on my back. So let's see how this is. And then if your edge, if you want to go a little deeper, and that is fine so far for you, and you want to go deeper, then you can interlace your hands behind your thigh. But I'm going to stay where I am, because if you notice then, when I grab the back of my thigh, my shoulders are lifting up, and also I'm creating tension in my neck and in my jaw. So that's not right for me. That's gone beyond my edge. I'll just take a couple more breaths here. And then very slowly, because you've been stretching that tissue deeply, and it'll be fragile. So release the top leg, and then move your props away. And then think about what you want to do as a rebound. So maybe windscreen wipe, maybe a full body stretch, or Shavasana. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Just listen to your body. And as long as it's nothing that will harm your body. I'm having a full body stretch, I think, because I made my neck tense when I was demonstrating what to do if you lifted your foot up. So I won't do that this time. Right, so let's go over to the other side. Same thing. First of all, start by hugging in the opposite leg. Softening that chin into the throat. Releasing those shoulder blades down onto the mat. Now your leg might be here, which is fine. Just listen to what your body wants to do. So at the moment, we're coming into a shape. And then you're going to find your way to your edge. So, and you might notice a difference on this side. I'm noticing that on this side, I'm better off interlacing my fingers behind the thigh rather than on the shin, because I can feel sensation in my jaw when I put my hands on my shin, and tension is creeping in. So I'm going to put my hands behind my thigh. And then let's cross. Engage very slowly. Gauge where you want your upper leg to be. Do you need it closer to the body or further away? Please don't go rushing into propping the other leg yet. So when we find our edge, one writer, one author and teacher of Yin describes this as the Goldilocks zone. So the Goldilocks zone is if you think the porridge is too hot, too cold, or just right. So when you're going to find your edge, have you gone too far? Have you not gone deep enough or further enough? You need to find that point where it's just right for you. So you do want a stretch and you do want to feel sensation, but you don't want to feel any burning or sharp pain, because then that suggests you've gone too far, you've gone beyond your edge. So when you're in this shape now, remember the Goldilocks zone. See how this shape feels for you without propping the foot. And then if you know that you're now ready to prop the foot, I'm going to have to get up and get my bricks or blocks or both. Let me just move those out of the way. So I'm going to try now with one yoga block. I'll go back into my shape. And then I'm going to put the foot, lift it off the mat and place it on a yoga block. And you can use a book instead of a block. You don't need fancy props if you're at home. And then maybe you want a little bit more sensation, in which case you could use a bolster or maybe 2 bricks or blocks. Also, play about. I just do this. Play about with. I'm doing the same leg, aren't I? Again. Play about with how near or far the foot on the floor is to your body. And see, just experiment with it. See how it feels. I'm not handling these props very well at all tonight. Well, I can't see when they're being on my back. It's my excuse. So maybe you'd like to try with the blocks nearer, closer to the body. See how that feels. See how it feels further away. Remember the Goldilocks zone. Finding your edge. That perfect point where you get sensation, stretch, but you've not gone too far. Just take a couple more breaths. And then slowly bring that top leg down, slide away any props, and then move into your rebound. So maybe Shavasana. Ooh, have a big yawn, full body stretch. Windscreen wipe the legs, whatever you need to do. And then we're going to come over onto the side. And then I'm going to do a few shoulder rolls and neck rotations, because lying down then has really made my neck stiff. So we can all do this anyway, because if it's made my neck stiff, it possibly has made your neck stiff, not necessarily. So I'm going to sit on a folded blanket. And then let's begin to rotate those shoulders. Bring those shoulders right up to your ears or towards your ears. And as you do, your shoulder blades, so tune in with your shoulder blades at the back, come away from each other. And as you move your shoulders back, they come together. And then let's take one ear to the same side shoulder. And then bring the head down. So you're doing like a little half moon. Do that a couple of times. And then opposite ear to same side shoulder. If you keep your hands down on the mat, you'll feel a better stretch. Because if you lift them up, it might be enough for you though to keep your hands lifted. Just see. And then again, as though you've got a little marble under the chin. Half moons. And then roll that pencil up your chin, under your chin. Our head is heavy. And then come back to centre. And when we're sat at a computer all day, it can put a lot of strain. We tend to tilt the head down, and when we're texting and reading, and that forward tilt of the neck of the head puts a lot of strain on the neck and shoulders. So let's just do a little twist over to one side. Just a simple twist. Keep your shoulders down. Belly, ribs and chest. Turn. And keep the head in the same direction as the spine. And then slowly over to the other side. Lengthen up first. The spine likes space, so lengthen and then twist. We are doing yin yoga. We'll move into our next posture. But it's good to help release some tension if you're feeling it anywhere in your body when you practice, if you do practice at home in your own time. Just incorporate little movements to help release that tension. More shoulder rolls. And then we're now going to come into butterfly. So to do butterfly, you will need, just thinking what I'll need here, a couple of blankets. I'm going to sit on a cushion. And then I've got my props close to hand if I need them. And we've got on brick. Move that. So in butterfly, we bring the feet together or towards each other. Don't worry if the feet don't actually touch. And to give you a sense of support, you can always place a block between the feet. So bring the feet together first, roll them shoulders, and then you see how far away or close you want your feet. Now the closer you bring them, the more of a stretch in the groin. Also think of the knees here. So you put more strain on the knees the closer the heels are towards the body. So I'm going to take my feet, I'm not having them too close, I'm taking them away a little bit. Now let's have a look at these floating knees and prop them. Now if your knees don't float, I'm just going to explain this about propping the knees first. So you can prop your knees with blocks and blankets or whatever else you've got, stacked cushions. Now for those people whose knees come down, mine aren't doing that today, but that's fine. If your knees come right down to the mat, I would still recommend that you prop your knees with a rolled blanket or a block. Because people who are hypermobile, over time, if you keep stretching over time, you can overstretch, and later on, if you keep doing this, you might have problems. So I would recommend that you prop under your knees, regardless of whether you can get your knees down. The whole point here isn't about who can get knees down to the mat. And yoga isn't a competition anyway. It's about working with your body that day, because our bodies change and our needs change day to day, sometimes hour to hour. So tune in, remember the Goldilocks zone, your Goldilocks zone today. So feel about for your edge. Maybe you need to take your feet further away. Maybe it's like to go deeper, feel more of the sensation and bring the heels closer to the body. So we're going to stay here now for 3 minutes. So you've found your shape, you've found your edge. Lengthen up through the spine, creating space as you come forwards. Maybe your hands just walk forwards a little. Finding your edge now. Feeling, remember those footsteps, sliding the feet one at a time to find the edge. The place where you can comfortably hold for some time, usually a few minutes. And the edge can shift. So as you hold this posture or this shape, and you resolve to be still, maybe you can feel, maybe you feel you want to go a little deeper. And so to do that, you can walk the hands further and come down a little bit further. Now please take care. Remember what I said. You go rushing into your edge, then you might have gone over that cliff. You might have gone beyond the edge of a cliff. You can think of it like the edge of a cliff. You go too far, and that can be disastrous. Connect with your body. Close your eyes if you like, or soften the gaze. Where can you feel the sensation? One more breath. And then very slowly walk the hands back into the body. And then use the hands to slide up the legs and bring the legs together. Move any props out of the way. And then let's take the feet down on the mat on windscreen white. The hands are down at the side of the body. Maybe the rotations as well, unwinding that. Very good. I'm just going to check the time. So from there, let's now come into lying on the back again. Hug the knees in and just rock from side to side. And then we're going to move into supported bridge. So for supported bridge, you've got the option. You can use a cushion, 2 cushions, a bolster. I'm not wearing my bolsters out today. A block or 2 bricks in the shape of a block. So whatever you've got, come to lay on the back and just see how you're feeling first, how the pelvis is. Make footprints with your feet, wiggling your toes, and then placing the toes down. Remember to lift your head slightly, softening that chin so that you're not creating any strain. And then place a cushion or a yoga block or 2 bricks. Just moving that under the pelvis. See how that feels. You're coming into the shape, your shape. Remember from last week, your shape. And then you now feeling your edge, feeling your way to your edge. Feeling sensations. And maybe you want to go have a little bit more sensation. So I'm going to slide a yoga block on top of the other one and see how that feels. As you can see, that's a much deeper back bend. So please take care. And then once you've found your shape and your edge, resolve to be still. The third principle, being still. And we're here for a few minutes. Don't forget the edge can change. It's not static. If the sensations get too much, then you can remove one of your props. Or maybe if you're on a bolster and it's too much, remove the bolster and place a block or a cushion underneath instead. Seeing how this feels. Following the sensations. Where are the sensations? Maybe you're ready to go a little deeper, or maybe back off. About 30 seconds more. If you're in this posture and you're thinking, I can't possibly hold this for any longer, that suggests that you've gone too far. So you do need to back off. And please feel free to come out of any of these shapes at any time and make whatever rebound movement you need to make. You're not going to relax if you tense. If you're uncomfortable, you're going to do the opposite and relax. And then slowly remove any props. Place the pelvis back down on the mat. Just give yourself a moment of reset. And then hug both knees into the chest. And then place the feet down. Roll them to one side and come back up. I'm just checking the time again. I'm going to get my glasses because I cannot see. I'm squinting. I've left them over there before. All right. So let's come on to all fours. I'm just going to grab a blanket to put under my knees. Let's come on to all fours now. And come to a table, the tabletop position. And then let's do a few cat cows. And then sweep up one arm, thread it under the opposite arm, and again. And this time bring the arm down. I'm going to move over a little bit. Thread it all the way through. So the shoulder comes down onto the mat and the ear also comes down to the mat. And then walk your other hand up the mat. So you are having a little bit of muscular engagement here. And you're stretching from the fingertips right to the hip. And maybe you would benefit from engaging your abdominals. So just pull your navel into your spine. That's to help you just support you, support the back. And then very slowly walk the hand back, unravel, sweep that arm up again, another stretch, and then back down. And then maybe circle one way and the other. Let's do that on the other side. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. Right, sweep up the arm, thread, and again, sweeping up, threading through, all the way through. Shoulder blade comes down on the mat, ear comes down on the mat, and then maybe walk the hands up if you want to stretch down the side body. So walk it up the mat, stretching from the fingertips to the hips. Bringing your navel into your spine to protect that back. And to prevent you from collapsing down. I am shaking here. That's normal for me. Feeling the sensations. And then slowly bring the hand back. Sweeping that arm up again, stretching. And coming down. And then a moment of fluidity, making whatever movements you need to make. And then come to your tabletop again. Take back one leg, extending out, coming onto the ball of the foot, and draw the heel back, having a calf stretch. And then change. And then come to kneel. Rolling your shoulders. Hands on your thighs. So you can stay here like this, or walk the hands further back and lift the sternum, the breastbone, up to the sky. And then walk the hands back. And then we'll come now into caterpillar. I might use a bolster. No, I'll use a small bolster. So for caterpillar, it's a forward fold. So bend your knees, even if you're not using anything under your knees, just bend your knees. And one option, so I'll go through the options. Option one, you can just hug around the knees, around the thighs, sorry, and then come forwards. Option two, put something under the backs of the thighs, like a bolster or cushions or rolled blankets. So first of all, let's lengthen, create space in the spine. And then come forwards. Now remember to go slow. Remember the Goldilocks zone. So please don't go straight down. Just move slowly. Feeling your way. So you're moving into your shape, but you're feeling your way. You're feeling your edge. Now for the head, you might bring your forearms to stack and bring your forehead down onto your forearm. Or you might come further down. Sorry, you might come down without supporting the head. If the head is unsupported, then just be aware of the weight of the head, and if it becomes too much, then you back off. You can also put a yoga bolster under the head. And maybe you want to straighten your legs a little. Keep a bend in them anyway. Maybe just have a rolled blanket underneath. So they're straighter, but you've still got a bend in them. So always create length and then come forward. So there's a few options there for you to consider. I'm going to put my little timer on now, and we're going to be in caterpillar for 3 minutes. If already your body's screaming at you, then you've gone too far. So you might need to walk up a little. The soles of the feet might need to come down on the mat. Find your edge. You need to feel sensation. That's stretch. But you don't need to feel discomfort or pain. In fact, you don't want to feel discomfort or pain. And you're still now, resolving to be still. But the stillness, well, I'll talk about stillness next week. Please don't think that you can't move. You resolve to be still, but the edge moves. So you're not actually being still, not necessarily. And if at any point you need to come out of this shape, then please do. Two more breaths. And then slowly come out of the shape, removing any props, and slowly coming up. And then as a rebound for this, let's take the hands behind the body. And let's take the legs out long, extend both legs down the mat. You might be on the carpet. And then let's lift the breastbone up, bringing the body back a little. And then come up. Now, if you feel you need to do something else for rebound, then please do. You might want to circle the knees and ankles and hips, or even windscreen wide. So for the next one, I'm just trying to figure out how I can show you how to do this. What I'm going to do is move my camera so you can see that cupboard. I usually have my cupboards hidden. So this is a cupboard door. Now you can do this against a wall, but I'm going to do it against the cupboard. And let me see, I'll need that. So we're going to do a cobra, but with a twist, a bit different to what we normally do. Let me just, right. Okay, so you come to lay on your belly, and I'm going to use a blanket underneath my hip point because it can be a bit tender. And then I'm going to move it further down. So I'm going to bend my legs and then put the fronts of the feet onto the wall, or in this case, cupboard door. So if you're doing this in your kitchen, I would recommend that you put something under your hip point, because the floors in kitchens tend to be very hard. So you'll have to shimmy about a bit. there's no easy way of getting into this. And then the front of the feet are on the mat, or on the wall, sorry. And then you can put either a cushion or a rolled blanket under the ribs, just like we do in yin cobra. And then the arms can be like Sphinx arms, so elbows under shoulders and fingers spread wide, and those shoulder blades are rolling down the back. So you can stay here, or if it's too much, you can stack the forearms and place the forehead on the forearms. Or another option is to bend the arms and bring the elbows closer together and cup the chin and the jaw with the hands, like when children watch TV. So you're supporting the head with the hands. So move into your shape, your chosen shape, and putting the timer on. Find your edge. Sweep away any dog hairs. And if having the legs up the wall or the feet on the wall isn't for you, then you can come into your regular yin cobra, where the legs are extended down the mat. Finding the edge in the Goldilocks zone. Is it too much? If so, back off. But find that place where you have sensation, but it's not too much. Where the porridge is just right. And we're here for a couple more minutes. Settling into the best posture, surrendering. Checking the jaw, the face for any tension, releasing it. Move the jaw from side to side. And if you're up in a Sphinx posture or the hugging, the hands around the jaw, just be aware of collapsing. So you might need a little bit of muscular engagement. You might need to activate the navel to the spine just a little. Or maybe activate the thighs a little, but not too much. Because what you don't want to be doing is coming down and slouching. So you might need a little bit of activation through the buttocks, thighs, abdominals. Keeping those shoulders down, the shoulder blades down, and shoulders. One more breath. And then slowly come out of this. So bring the head down on folded forearms. Bring the forehead down first. Give yourself a moment. And then come up to come out. So come to lay on the side, removing any props. And then we'll come onto all fours one last time. Moving however you want to move. Fluid movements. Maybe a few cat cows or cat cow to child. Or maybe circles, figure eights, whatever. Just tune in with your body, whatever feels good for you. And then just push back for a moment into child. Just for a few breaths here. And then slowly come up. And we're going to move now into Shavasana. So either side Shavasana on the back or sleeping crocodile style on your belly. I think that's what I'll do today. So get a blanket, put your warmer layers on, and then get yourself comfortable. You can even do Shavasana on your bed if you're doing this in your bedroom. And if you're doing sleeping crocodile like I'm doing, take your feet as wide as the mat. Allow the ankles to flop in. Stack your forearms and place the forehead on the forearms. And if you're on your back, maybe place a bolster or a rolled blanket under the knees. Cover yourself with a blanket. I certainly don't need a blanket. It's roasting in here. And then when you've got your shape, take a deep breath in and sigh that breath out slowly. And then soften the whole body, letting go. Letting go now. Nothing to do, just being. Softening the whole of the back body. The whole of the front body. And I'll be silent here now, just for a few minutes before I guide you back. And then become aware of the physical body. If you wish to stay in relaxation, please do so. You can switch the video off or just ignore me. Become aware of your physical body, the back body, the front body, arms, legs, the head, the face, fingers and toes. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. And then have a full body stretch. Maybe windscreen wipe the legs. Begin to make more movements now. Hugging the knees into the chest. And then rocking over onto your yin side, your left side. But it really doesn't matter if you haven't got space to roll over onto your yin side. You can roll over onto your right yang side. You won't go up in a puff of smoke. And then slowly make your way up to a comfortable seat. And let's finish stretching the arms up, hands together, down the midline to heart center. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you have a peaceful day, or in my case, night. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Namaste. Apollo says bye to.